Daily oral language sentence number 37. We are moving and shaking. Let's do this. Okay, I'm going to put this up on the screen for you so you can copy it down and we can get our grammar practice going on for the day. Please copy this down exactly the way you see it. Watch out for the fresh planted seeds in the garden over there, Mom shouted, or you'll get mulch on your shoes. Watch out for the fresh planted seeds in the garden over there, Mom shouted, or you'll get mulch on your shoes. Okay, let's take a look at this. Now, the most important thing to point out in this is that this sentence was spoken. Technically, it was shouted by Mom. So that means we have to separate the words that Mom didn't say out loud, and then we have to quote the words that Mom did say out loud. So I'm going to ask you now, what are the only two words that Mom didn't shout or that Mom didn't say out loud? And of course, those two words are Mom shouted. So I'm going to separate that with my two commas because it's in the middle of the sentence, right? And then the rest of the sentence I have to put in quotation marks. Now, since Mom shouted is in the middle of the sentence, I will have 4 quotation marks. Again, I will tell you this. Mom shouted could be in the beginning of the sentence. You could say Mom shouted, comma quotes. Watch out for the fresh planted seeds in the garden over there or you'll get mulch on your shoes. You could put Mom shouted at the end. Watch out for the fresh planted seeds in the garden over there or you'll get mulch on your shoes, Mom shouted. In those two cases, I would only have 2 sets of quotation marks. But because I have Mom shouted in the middle of this sentence, I have 4 sets. So let's put them in. Our first set goes before watch. The second set goes after the comma. The third set goes again after the comma before the word or, and the last set goes after the word shoes. Let's continue. Let's go from the top. We would capitalize watch, of course. Watch out for the fresh planted seeds. Now, how are they planted? Freshly. Let's turn that into an adverb. Watch out for the freshly planted seeds. Take a look at seeds. That's clearly wrong. We want to make that S-E-E-D-S. Excellent. In the garden over there. Okay, 2 problems still wrong with that first section of our quoted sentence. We decapitalize garden. That is not a capitalized word. And then we have over there. What's wrong with that form of there? That is correct. That is the possessive form of there. We want over there as in the where it is, as in the location there, not the possessive there. So we are going to put T-H-E-R-E over there as in a place, not as in a possession. All right, Mom shouted. Ah, look at Mom. I've been going over this for about 36 sentences now. What do I do to Mom in this sentence? That is correct. I capitalize it. Why? You can't just tell me to capitalize it. You have to be able to tell me why. And the answer, of course, is, well, Mr. Kennedy, we're using it as her name in the sentence. Well, when wouldn't I capitalize the word Mom? And the answer to that, of course, would be when we're using it as her title. If I said my mom shouted, your mom shouted, our mom shouted, the mom shouted, then I would not capitalize Mom. Let's continue with our sentence. Or you'll get mulch. You'll, what 2 words am I contracting there? You and will, or you will get mulch on your shoes. Take a look at your. Mr. Kenny, you have to put the apostrophe in there. You apostrophe R-E. Why, Mr. Why? I would say, why is that? And you would say, because you always put an apostrophe when it says R-E. But I'm going to ask you to read it out with that apostrophe. Or you'll get mulch on your shoes. Oh, no, that would not work. You'll get mulch on your shoes. So let's get rid of the apostrophe, get rid of the E, and now that makes much more sense. Or you'll get mulch on your shoes. Last thing, what do I put at the end of this sentence? Most people would tell me to put a period there, and I'm going to say, no, that actually would be wrong in this sentence. What needs to get put at the end of the sentence? Not a period. Mom shouted this sentence. So we want an exclamation point. And that is another way of showing me that she shouted this sentence out loud. That exclamation point really screams that she shouted this. So let's take a look at our sentence on the bottom. Let's make sure that we have this correct. Let me get rid of my screen. Hold on a second, please. And let's take a look at our sentence. Ready? Open quotes. Watch out for the freshly planted seeds in the garden over there, comma quotes. Notice that I capitalized watch. I turned freshly into an adverb by adding an ly. Seeds is spelled correctly now. We decapitalized garden, and of course we fixed there from T-H-E-I-R to T-H-E-R-E because we're talking location, not possession. Comma quotes, we have capitalized Mom, of course, because we're using it as her name. Comma quotes, or you'll. Now notice you don't capitalize or because it's not the beginning of what she said. If you said Mom shouted, watch out for the friend, then you would capitalize watch, of course, because it's the beginning of what she said. Or you'll, we put the apostrophe. We're contracting you and will, or you will get mulch on your. We got rid of the E because we're not saying you are shoes. Take a look at this. We have an exclamation point because she shouted it. Excellent job, everybody. Truly well done.